What's up, everybody? Paul here, Salute the Outdoors, and we're on episode 3 of Campfire Tales. It's a little unorthodox this week, or this episode. Been traveling quite a bit. I'm actually in a hotel room right now. Still got this fire that we're gonna use as our makeshift campfire for this particular episode, but yeah, so been on the road a bunch. A lot of different things going on, but ultimately I'm away from my family, and that's a big bummer. I really feel like my family is my backbone, and when I don't have them, feel a little displaced and a little uncentered. So that's been tough, but one of the things that helps bring me back to kind of my happy place, if you will, is talking about the outdoors. And if you're new here, that's really what this, uh, I think we decided to call this video series, is to connect with nature through storytelling, but also talk a little bit about the healing elements that come with our exploration in the outdoors. And one of my biggest stressors or struggles is anxiety. And I really find peace in nature. Unfortunately, I don't get to be in nature enough today. I've been at a conference and I've literally been inside brick walls all day. It was a long day. Started at 6:30 this morning. I literally walked outside for about 2 minutes from one building to the next and barely saw the sun. Inside all day, through lunch, through dinner. By the time I got a chance to even look outside again, it was dark. And that was my day for the most part. I mean, that wasn't the conclusion of my day, but I had to get a little bit of food and I went to the gym for quite a while, largely because I knew I needed the mental break. I probably put in an hour and a half or so worth of workout, which was really necessary. And during that time, I hit the bike for about 30 minutes, watched a little hunting video on YouTube, and connected through those means. Then I lifted some weights. That really puts me in an area of focus as well. Just thinking about the next time we get to have an outdoor adventure. But that's really, again, why I'm here. So that way I can reconnect with stories from past and present in order to help others connect through storytelling outdoors. Usually we're by a campfire, but this is going to be our make do for this week and or this particular episode. And I hope to bring a lot more stories to you soon. But this week is a bit of a hybrid. It's the combination of how I got into hunting and how that passion evolved. So to jump right into it, when I was about 12 years, I don't know if I was 12 years old. I was somewhere between 10 and 12 years old. And my dad's godfather lived in Rhode Island. And one of the things that my dad and I did a lot when I was a kid was camp. I absolutely love camping, and it really kind of set not the precedence, but it laid the founding blocks of my passion for the outdoors. I'm a firm believer in that. So anyway, we went to visit my dad's godfather in Rhode Island, went camping at the state park there. It was one of our favorite trips to take, but at this point in time, my dad's godfather was, well, not just this point in time, but my dad's godfather was a big shooter. He did a lot of sporting clays, tournament shooting, and he would actually fly back to Europe. He was a first generation American, naturalized citizen through his service in the military. He actually, if memory serves me right, he and my grandfather were best buddies, and that's how my dad, or how he became my dad's godfather. Anyway, he used to go back to Ireland and hunt upland birds back there, and he was so passionate about the sport. He asked my dad if we wanted to go shoot. My dad was in law enforcement, so he was okay with the idea. And again, we didn't have firearms in our house growing up. I didn't hunt growing up. I didn't start hunting until I was in my early 20s. But the reason why this is so important is my dad's godfather, Jack, he took us shooting. And this was the first time I had ever been exposed to a firearm. It was an experience that opened my eyes, and something that I truly feel like was so ingrained in my nature, and I felt so connected to it at that point in time. I knew from then on, as soon as I was legally able to, I was going to buy myself a rifle, and I was going to start hunting with my buddies in Colorado. Well, long story short there, I turned 18. I bought my first rifle. It was a Ruger 1022 synthetic stock with a little Bushnell, probably, I don't even know, maybe like a 4 or 5 power, 6 power scope on it. And there's this place in Colorado called Left Hand Canyon where we could just go and you could shoot. It's kind of like a national forest, if you will, that folks had kind of turned into a shooting range. There was a little bit of a four-wheel drive trail that you had to take to get up there. So we would always take our four-wheelers, go up there, and we would shoot. Well, I only had the 1022, but my good buddy Chase, he would always bring his hunting rifles, and he would let me shoot. That evolved into me eventually saving up enough money to buy my first hunting rifle. I really developed a passion for hunting because my friends and this exposure to a sport that I had no knowledge of, other people were passionate about, and they brought me into the sport knowing that I was interested. But I personally didn't know that I was going to develop the passion that I have for it now today, especially as a young man. That's for dang sure. But I am incredibly grateful for Jack and Chase and maybe a few other people that decided to really kind of take me under their wing and mentor me through the woods. That those first few seasons, it wasn't so much about hunting as it was just getting away from the city and hanging out with buddies. And I don't think I really at the time understood what was happening, but I do now. And what was happening was is that passion for hunting was developing inside me, but also it was this foundation of friendship. It was a foundation of mentorship, coaching, and somebody that's close to me taking me into the field and exposing me to this thing that I had a desire to learn about. And the first few seasons there was no success. It was, like I said, it was really just hanging out with buddies. But every year, me and Chase, we would go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We would sit down with the book of regulations. Back then, you're hand entering all of your information into the applications that came in the book, and we were mailing off checks, and then it was a matter of let's see what happens. But I had really no idea what I was doing. I was 100% relying on Chase to help me through that. And again, I'm incredibly grateful for. I mean, he's probably one of my. I mean, he's not probably. He is one of my best friends on the planet. But without that guidance and without that support to say, hey, let's do this every year. Gosh, I would never be here where I am today, especially sharing all this stuff on this video and sharing it with the world. But where I'm headed with all that is, we uh, he got married younger, and we didn't necessarily go our separate ways, but I missed that connection. But I can tell you one thing: every single time that we're in the woods, I can promise you that I'm thinking about all the stuff that we did when I was in my early 20s, when we were out hunting together. And I had the opportunity to go on a really special hunt with him when he got his mountain goat tag. Unfortunately, this year when I drew my moose tag, he got hurt a few years ago, and he had to have surgery just a few months before the moose season opened up. So he couldn't. He was in. I don't even think he was in a walking boot. I think he was on crutches. So there's no way he was gonna be in the woods with me to go on that hunt, and I completely respect that. Obviously no hard feelings there, but uh, he the night before that hunt, he took a call from me because I needed some support, specifically trying to get in touch with the local game warden that I had just uh, awful service, and needed him to get in touch so that way before it got too late in the day. But anyway, going back to the passion that evolved, I absolutely love big game hunting, but where he and I still connect, and where I connect the most with the outdoors is actually bird hunting. My dogs are my dogs for sure, but they're working dogs. And gosh, I last year we had to put down our first German Shorthair, Callie, and that was probably one of the toughest days and toughest decisions I've ever had to make. The the hunts that we had gone on, I mean, she was, I don't even know how, off the top of my head, she was maybe 8 months old when my wife and I, maybe a little older than that, she was probably a year and some change, not quite a year and a half, when my wife and I moved in together. And then 6 months after that, we bought our first house. And she was our baby, for lack of better terms. And having to put her down last year really was really tough. But I say all that to say, although I'm passionate about big game hunting, I really get connected to the outdoors bird hunting because of the social aspect of it. There's not a whole lot of being quiet and whispering and trying to put a stalk on animals. As much as I find solace in that, the social aspect of hanging out with buddies, hanging out with my wife, and now just recently, was it last? Yeah, it was 5 days ago or something like that. Now, we had the opportunity to take our son on his first bird hunt, where he was actually able to shoot his first bird, and we'll share that video with you guys soon. But realistically, the connection that I feel when I'm in the outdoors is just something unprecedented. And and being with people and having success. And you see some of these videos, and people that don't care for hunting get on and say, oh, they're laughing and giggling, they're taking lives. But for us, it's not really taking a life that we're laughing and celebrating. We're celebrating success. We're celebrating each other. We're celebrating the fact that we're putting food on the table. And we just prefer to put food on a table in a different way than other folks that prefer to go to the grocery store and buy chickens. Because while yes, there is a lot of genetic difference between a pheasant and a chicken, there is, from a taste standpoint, there's not a whole heck of a lot of difference. They more or less taste the same. Both white meat birds, and they're delicious, whether it's a bird or a chicken or a pheasant. But anyway, I say all that to say, going out on that first hunt and having the ability to train my dog, and now dogs that I have over the years, there's just nothing that will ever compare to that in my mind, I don't think. And I hope everyone that finds this has the ability to find that. And if you don't, there are tons of mentorship programs. Specifically in Colorado, there's mentorship programs for both youth and adults. If you just don't know what you want to do or how to hunt or where to hunt, there's a lot of resources at Colorado Parks and Wildlife. There's other states that offer similar programs. There's even nonprofits like Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever. Uh, those two uh, those two organizations offer mentorship hunts for people that are interested in getting into upland hunting. Big game's a little bit different. I don't have a ton of research in front of me about how to go about getting on a mentorship hunt with, say, the Mule Deer Foundation or the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, things of those types of organizations. But really, those are the first place that you should go if you're interested in getting into the outdoors. And I mean, even contact us. Go to our website, www.salute underscore www.salute the outdoors.com. I'll put the link in the description. We offer mentorship hunts specifically for upland birds. We'll teach you how to shoot, we'll teach you how to hunt, and we'll help you feel that camaraderie that comes with being in the field and celebrating over the harvest of an animal and the ability to put food on your table. But ultimately, if you have any kind of disconnection or you're feeling any kind of disconnection, I can't encourage you enough to find some sort of outdoor adventure where these devices that we're tethered to on a daily basis is not in your hand. Don't even bring it. Well, I shouldn't say don't bring it, because there's safety things that you can use and have benefit, and especially if you have zero outdoor skills. But don't go getting yourself lost in the woods. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's adventures and there's programs that will take you, whether it's if you want to try backpacking or if you just want to go on a hike. There's a lot of things that you can do in the outdoors, even if it's just going to the park. Take your kids to the park, get them out of the house, get them away from screens. We spend way too much time getting information, and we're losing connection with each other as a result of that. And so I say that to say, one of my goals for moving forward is to really try and embrace this family connection that we do have. As much as I like to record and keep these videos, and it's not even really for, I'll be honest, it's not really for everybody else. The reason why I do this is personal. I want these videos to be a log on YouTube, so that way I can go watch them and my kids can go watch them whenever we absolutely want. And I hope people find them in 10 years from now. and are still watching them. But ultimately, the the reason why I'm doing it is, again, it's for selfish reasons, and I want to be able to come back to this, especially on those days that are super hard for me mentally. I can go watch a video of me and my kids, my wife, going out chasing after elk, deer, moose now, uh, hopefully in the future, mountain goat, bighorn sheep, or desert sheep, and other species, bear as well, and upland birds, waterfowl, you name it. It's all super important, and even if we're not chasing animals, we're establishing memories in the mountains or in the woods, away from screens, and connecting and just talking with each other. So with that said, I'll bid you farewell for this particular episode. I know that wasn't really the typical fashion for Campfire Tales, but I do appreciate y'all being here. If this resonates with you, if the message resonates with you, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us about your first hunt. We're getting close to our goal on subscribers, so we can start doing these live. And once that happens, we'll find a little bit more rhythmic cadence to when we release the videos and when we do live events, largely so that way we can have guests and so on soon. But I'm actually hoping to do our first guest video very soon. However, there's an unfortunate part of how we're going to have that happen, but that's a different story for a different day. But the end of it, the end result is going to be a good video that I'm hoping brings some connection to folks that find these videos as well. But thank you so much. Again, really appreciate you being here. Please like and subscribe. Leave that comment about how you get connected to the outdoors. And until next time, we'll see you again. Thanks so much.